Day I'm hustling, 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 hustling,
It's your
hustling,
boy,
hustling,
Ski.
hustling, 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 hustling. Every
Oh, welcome back to the Matrix. You're not just in the Matrix, you are the Matrix. How's it feel, Neo? And today we got ourselves a banger daily market news analysis. What is up? What is up? How's everyone feeling out of 10? Make sure you guys are spam that like button, hitting that share so other people can spam the like button. Let's get this party started, y'all. I forgot to change this thing real quick. Let's do this. That's okay. We'll do it in a little bit. All right. So as of the time of recording, Bitcoin is sitting at. There's one of these that I'm supposed to do. I forget. Dang it. Forget which one it is. Sorry, guys. Whatever. I'll do it in a minute. It's fine. All right. As of the time of recording, Bitcoin is sitting at $84,000. $84,000. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to go over the charts, the analysis, and then we're going to switch to members only. So I'm trying to experiment with things. Are we sub only? We'll be sub only very, very soon. But we're going to start it out normal. Jay says, what's up? And I think that this is the spring. The spring is in, and perhaps what looks to be, we're going to be heading back down to 78K, 80K. That would be the test on Wyckoff. But I think that the worst is behind us. I have my limit orders in. That's where I think that we're at. We're at the spring. Let me just show it one more time. So we've already had our markdown, selling climax, automatic reaction, secondary test. Secondary test in phase B goes lower than the selling climax. The spring goes lower than the secondary test. After the spring, you get a move to the upside a little bit. Move to the upside, and then you come back to the secondary test. Or the test is what you would call it. The secondary test would go to the same as the test in B, which would be somewhere between 80 and 78K. So that's where I think that we're at with Bitcoin. And I've been flirting with this idea too, that, you know, okay, if the 4-year cycle is done, and that's really beyond us, well, that means that it's really beyond us. And we're not going to talk out of both sides of our mouth. And what that would mean is that in all likelihood, we are deep in accumulation, as in we've already gotten our spring, as in we've already got our sacrificial lamb, if you will. Some company goes to zero at the absolute worst capitulation, as Bitcoin dominance is at an all-time high, as gold is ripping to an all-time high at the absolute parabolic level. I have not officially taken my 30% profit on gold. I am officially doing that tomorrow, okay, because I have physical gold. So this is at the 2618. I am physically going to be taking profit on gold. So this is all happening at the same time, where I think that Bitcoin dominance is working on the UTAD all at the same time. Right? And what happened with Bitcoin the last time that the actual spring was in? Does anybody remember? So this is accumulation. This is the last bear market. You had Luna goes to zero. You had a big event here. And then the spring takes you lower. And there was a sacrificial lamb. It was FTX. Well, do we have that right now? Is my theory matching up with that? Bitcoin don't need to lose that 80K position. So, like, who went to zero? Essentially. I don't know. How about OM? The convenience of the timing of it all is impeccable. The timing of it all is insane. And I saw somebody say, too, in the, I saw somebody say in the chat, too, that, well, that means there's 2 years to an all-time high. No, that's not what that means at all. So, with this fractal right here, first of all, let me just say this. Bitcoin doesn't need to have an all-time high in order to have a breath from altcoins. All we really need is Bitcoin to get 95, 100K, Ethereum get back to 3K, and that is going to be more than enough than everything in that ecosystem to feel that. Just like how the Magnificent Seven in the stock market has been carrying the entire stock market, but not really the entire stock market is feeling that. I think it would be a similar situation. Right? But I'm basically theorizing that we are somewhere in here. Right? And if from this peak to right here, how many days was that? Let's do a little proportional math. It's not going to line up exactly like this, but let's just do a proportional math. This is where I think that we're at right here, basically. That's 472 days. So if 472 days equals $88 days, well, then that would mean an all-time high. So let's do a proportion real quick. 488 equals, this is, I think this was for Punky on TikTok. I don't remember who asked the question. 488 equals 88. Then all-time high, I'll figure that, equals X. I don't know. So from the 488 days, how long until we made an all-time high? It was an additional 394. And if you want to count this, 644. So let's do 394, and then we'll do 644. Because what I'm arguing here is that the 4-year cycle is really over, actually. So you do 394 times 88 equals divided by 488. 71 days until a new all-time high. All right, well, let's do 644. Someone said 2 years. 88, or I forget who said it, but they said that means 2 years to an all-time high. No, it does not. So let's even do the worst case. 644 times 88 equals, this is not a great way to do things, by the way, but that's okay. 116. So we're looking at, call it 2 months to 4 months. People just want to clamor. They want to talk out of both sides of their mouth. 4 years is over. See you in 4 years. How goes it? How does that day count match the previous cycle? It's not. I'm going off a structure, not day count. This is what I'm arguing here. If you're going to tell me that the 4-year cycle is really over, well, here's where we are. Here's where we really are. You're buying climax, you're up thrust, distribution, mark down. This move right here has the same as this one. You have a secondary test that goes lower than the selling climax, secondary test that goes lower than the selling climax, and then you have a spring that goes even lower than the secondary test. That was FTX. FTX went to zero. Who just went to zero? How about OM? Was a multi-billion-dollar company, lost most of it in a day, in 1 hour. Okay, so I'm arguing we're somewhere structurally right here. So it's not day for day, it's structure. And if what I'm saying is, if people want to tell me 4 years is done, okay, let's talk about it as if that is actually the case. We're not going to talk out of both sides of our mouth, though, and say 4 years is over. See you in 4 years. OM was sacrificed and Argo went down 62% today. That's insane. Solonix up 15% today. You love to see it. My number one conviction play. All right, we're going to give it about 10 more minutes, and then we're going to switch to subscriber only on TikTok, and then you can head over to YouTube. Do you like Hashin candles or regular candles? They're both fine. I'm not like a candle trader. I don't do like that. I barely put any weight in candles or, I barely put any weight in candles or patterns. To me, that is, on the very lower end of things. So what do you expect short to midterm? We just went over it, but I'll cover it again. I think that this is where we're at. We're on work. This is a textbook bottoming structure. Like actually textbook bottoming structure. Selling climax, automatic reaction, secondary test. That's all phase A. Okay. Markdown, selling climax, automatic reaction, secondary test. Okay, that's phase A. Phase B, you have a secondary test in phase B that goes lower, textbook, lower than the selling climax. Okay, secondary test in phase B goes lower than the selling climax. Move to the upside, creek down, big spring, take it all out, go even lower than the secondary test in phase B. Move to the upside, creek down, big spring, take it all out, secondary test in phase B. That is textbook. This is where we are at right now. And we've just had from 74.4 was the spring. We went all the way up to 86K, I believe. 85, 86K. That little move. And we're most likely we're working on our test, which would be, you could call it 80K. Realistically, it could go to 78K. It could go to 79K. It could go to 81K. Just call it 80K and just know that it could go to 78. That's what we're working on. The test would go the secondary test in phase B. So it depends. Are we going to test the body or are we going to test the wick? Okay. I don't know. But this is where we're working on. You start to get higher low structures, move to the upside, get your LPS, which would be about 88K, your sign of strength, which would be about 95 to 100K. That's where I think that we are short and medium term. We're working on the test, which would not make a new low. Textbook would not make a new low. That's exactly where I think that we're at. You still think Dynex will hit 3 to 5? I do. No, I'd never said March was the best month in crypto, Roman. Never, not one time. It's in fact one of the worst months, but I did say April. But I mean, I don't know, brother. Like, what are we talking about right now? We're up. Bitcoin's up 16% in 6 days. I don't know if you know this or not, but that's 2 years, maybe 3 years of stock market gains. So, yeah. April, historically, is one of the best months in crypto. I believe that to be true. We are still in April. I think very, very soon, we are going to make a move to 95K. That would be the textbook sign of strength. And I think that the total 3, conservatively, does a 50% move. Volume is good on my end. What's good, people? It's over, ya boy, Ski. Can you say the same thing about previous legs up, too? What's the difference in OM and ICP? ICP hasn't had huge moves like that. Like, you know, I don't think so. We could be in the middle of the peaks of 2021. I think all-time highs is much closer than people realize. People talk out of both sides of their mouth, and they're like, I'm going to be waiting until it's deep into accumulation. It's like, okay, well, we're deep into accumulation, a textbook. In fact, I don't think we're going lower. 74.4, I made a video 8 days ago on the day. I said bottom's in, boys. It's been 8 days. We haven't sniffed it. We'll probably sniff it. We'll probably get back to 78K. I have my limit orders in, which I'm already in along on Bitcoin right now from 78K. If we get back to 78K, I'm going to add to that position. If we get to 77K, I'll add a little bit more. If we don't, I will just enjoy the long that I'm already in. All right. So we're going to... So true. Could the moves be bigger or more controlled due to large institutions? I think they're going to be more controlled. So that's what I think. Yeah, like you're going to get more textbook distribution. You're going to get maybe less violent moves to the upside with Bitcoin. That doesn't necessarily mean to be the same for altcoins. Like I don't think that there's going to be just a year where Bitcoin goes up 20x anymore or Ethereum goes up 20x anymore. For the large caps, I don't think that that is true. I think it's going to be a lot. And that also is reverse, right? So we're not going to get 80, 70% corrections. In all likelihood, this is it. 32%. What do you expect from Bitcoin dominance? I think Bitcoin dominance is working on the reverse of this. So this is textbook bottoming structure. I think that Bitcoin dominance is working on textbook topping structure. This is ETH dominance, by the way. I didn't mean to pull this up, but we'll talk about this. Multi-year low. This is part of the reason why Bitcoin dominance is just going on a tear. It's because Ethereum's being crushed. But look at where we're at. We're at the lowest point that we've been for 5 years. A 5-year low. This means one of two things. I'm going to tell you right now. This means one of two things. Either I'm correct about Ethereum. It's going to lose its place, and it's doing it right now before our very eyes. Option number one. Or two, Ethereum is going to bounce. I think that's what's going to happen. Minimum to $3,000. We don't need Ethereum to go to crazy numbers in order for the things in Ethereum's ecosystem to feel that. I'm the biggest Ethereum hater known to man. I think Ethereum is going to bounce. Minimum to $3,000. Most likely to $7,000. Bitcoin dominance, though, is, in my opinion, working on the reverse of accumulation, which would be distribution. Buying climax, automatic reaction, secondary test. That's all of phase A. You have your up thrust goes higher than the buying climax, and then the UTAD would textbook go higher than the up thrust. In all reality, we're just filling out this wick right now. We haven't even gone higher yet, but I pretty much expect it to do so. We're right at the macro 702. So yeah, that's the play. Mars time. All right, we're gonna switch to subscriber only on TikTok. We made it through 20 minutes. I'm not gonna test my luck. So give me 1 second here. And listen, I'm not trying to be a gatekeeper or whatever, but my God, every time we do this. I forget how to do it, though. There's a way. Don't remember how to do this. All right. Well, you might be lucky. There is... He says we gatekeeping for safety reasons. We already had an alt season. Okay. Oh, here we go. My bad. All right, we're switching to subscriber only. We are switching to subscriber only on TikTok. And then I'm going to try to fix this real quick. I don't know why it's doing this weird. Weird. Here we go. I don't know why it was doing that. All right. Cool. Let's go back to YouTube. All right. Someone says, but if ETH loses the support line you talked about alt season, I don't think it could happen. Sure, it could happen. It's plausible, but that means Ethereum's dead. It doesn't mean no alt season. It just means XRP alt season. It means Solana alt season. It means Ethereum's getting dethroned. It means XRP, or Ethereum actually, is properly dead. I think that eventually happens, but I don't think it's going to happen this cycle. I don't think it's going to happen until later on. But it doesn't mean no alt season. It just means no ETH season. It means the things on Ethereum would struggle a little bit. What kind of trading do you do on BitUnex? Mostly swing trading. I put all of my trades out on the Telegram, though. I'll be in trades for weeks at a time. We will be live on X later, by the way. I can't believe I'm saying this, but XRP will flip ETH this cycle. Wow. It could, I mean, it's pretty damn close, right? What is the... It's closer than you might think. So Ethereum's market cap's 190 billion. We already saw XRP at that market cap. XRP's at 121. It's pretty damn close. Like, this is a move to $3 for... Let's say XRP gets to $3 and Ethereum's at, I don't know, $2,000. I think XRP would flip it. So it could definitely happen. I'm not like saying it's not going to happen. I just think that my bet is it's going to at least do a move of $3,000, which would just be a retracement. What up, Ski and Solna community? Cali XT, thanks for the lightning and the goat, bro. You savage.
But the cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
If we don't reach new highs in April or early May, will that push back euphoria after November? I think that it's November either way. I don't think we don't need to have an all-time high in May. That we don't need to have that in order to have euphoria in November. No. One day Solnic will replace ETH. Someday. I hope XRP takes its proper place. I swear TRX is a stable coin at 25 cents. I mean, that's where we're at. Like, listen, in all reality, guys, everyone is either team bull, team bear. In reality, if we're keeping it a buck, we're probably in team chop up. That's the truth. We're probably in team chop up. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's realistically where we're at. That's realistically where we're going. And nobody wants that. Everyone is always clamoring for, you know, Lamborghinis right now, flip the switch, or we're going to Hades tomorrow. Pack it up, boys. See you in 4 years. But no one is team like Crab. No one's team Chop. Can you look at TRX chart thoughts? Yes. TRX. I'm in team hurry the F up. TRX. So TRX went to price discovery. I mean, it's sloping its way up here. How much did it correct from this huge move up here? This is a 54% correction. It's definitely had a reversal of sorts. For sure. I would say that this is your selling climax, your secondary test, your spring. Higher low, higher low, higher low. Higher high, higher high. I don't mind this at all. I'm going to pull a micro fib on this. We want this to hold, the structure to hold. We don't want any of these lows to get taken out. But this looks pretty good to me. You know, so retracement would be a 40% move. And then the next price discovery would be a 1.2x. So I think that is a reasonable move. Someone asked me about XCN chart earlier, I think. Let's look at that. I'm on Webb's team. Yeah, Cliff, yeah, this got rejected off of the 0.5. It's at the 236 again. So this is a pretty good value here. We'll see where it goes to. I don't mind this, though. I think it will get to 3.3 cents. And then ultimately 7.7 cents. Team Win has the most members. That's a fact. Team Win Moon, in fact, has the most members. That is a fact. All right, let's check out Goldfinch. Let's look at what was it? Argo? Which one lost 62% today? Nice move from this. I like this macro chart. It's been on a skid for a while. Has not quite broken this downtrend yet. Pretty damn close. $1 would be the line in the sand, but it's just still kind of on this, you know, I wouldn't say this as a reversal yet. Yeah, no proper technical reversal yet, but you're on all of the bear market lows. There's a lot of support here. I don't know what the tokenomics on this are, but I think it's going to hold here and start to work its way out. Let's see. What are the tokenomics on this coin? A little bit of inflation, but nothing too crazy. Nothing, past inflation, it looks like, actually. So we'll see. XCN coming out with a DeFi wallet. That's great news. I do have a long on XCN that I had a limit order that got hit. I think it got hit today. What is built in the boring? That is the audiobook that well, not audiobook. It's the ebook that I'm working on. So you can get early access to that now. That should be ready very, very soon. Let's check out Argo. So that's going to have my full method. It's going to have Wyckoff. It's going to have Elliott waves. It's going to have Fibonacci's. It's going to have reverse trading sentiment. It's going to have trading with the moon, de-risking and, you know, risk management, as well as setting up your targets. My entire strategy all in one book. XCN spot. I think XCN spot's a good spot buy right now for sure. Yeah. All right, let's check out Argo. Is this the right one? I don't know if I can be mad at this. It's hard to be mad at a huge drop like this because it made an all-time high in one day. You know what I mean? Like, that to me is just, you know, everyone wants a straight line up. Like, in a matter of how many days was this? 9 days, this did a 13x. So I think, you know, that's proper. Everyone wants to do these crazy numbers until you actually do crazy numbers, and this is the result you get. So to me, this was just a, you know, I know the ebook's not ready, but how to buy. I will have a link ready for that soon. You can put your email, and I'll send it out to your email when it's ready. Once it got listed on Binance today, it crashed. Yeah, I don't think that this is crazy. Like, this isn't as bad to me as yeah, like this isn't nearly as bad as Omni. That's a whole different category, I would say. Is there a way to copy your trades? Yes. 2 NFTs get you lifetime access to my Telegram. I put all my trades out in there on BitUnex. Obviously, it's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I lose trades all the time. I win trades too. But over time, I have a good record. It's all about risk management and being patient. But yeah. All right. There will be a space on Twitter with the Solnick account. Cliff, I don't know. There's miscommunication. It was supposed to be at 5, but it's going to be right after this live stream instead. Do you think that Bitcoin has to continue to make an all-time high every cycle, or what do you think will happen with price long term? Yes, I think that ultimately, you know, I put Bitcoin like the same category as gold, right? Like, ultimately, what you're betting when you buy Bitcoin or gold, you're betting that the governments, the China, which is printing money like crazy, the United States government, which is printing money like crazy, that they're going to continue to print more money. And if they continue to do that, then I would say that yes, Bitcoin is going to continue to make new all-time highs every cycle. Now, what I don't think is going to happen is it's going to do a 10x or a 20x every cycle. Any updates for on-chain? No, not yet. I will get with them. So OM is the sacrifice then. That's what I think so. What has your prediction on XCN? XCN 3.3 cents is the retracement and 7.5 cents is the updated price discovery. The updated price discovery target. Earl says, you still, he will hit 20 cents. I think so eventually. I put out a statement earlier because there was like some weird competition between Solnick and Hehe. It's not myself or Alex. But I'll just read this for you guys. Read this for everybody. Just put it out there because people are, you know, when things go down, which Solnick has performed very well anyways, but people get a little nasty, you know. So I put out a statement in the Telegram earlier, and I'll just read it for you guys. But I said, Alex is my friend, and I think he's a good guy. I will be pushing Solnick till I die. I do think he will recover. In all likelihood, it will take the market to fully recover for Hehe, as that is the strategy coming from Hehe. That's what he said. He's going to wait until the market turns around to push. I'm not waiting for Solnick, and we'll continue to push forward. We will see in 10 years which strategy is better. Ultimately, I will cheer for the success of Hehe, just as I think that Alex will do the same for Solnick. There was a long period where Hehe had a higher market cap than Solnick, and I was, and still am, cheering and DCing into Hehe as well as Solnick. I do believe that the hack/phishing attack was legit. So there you go. No more griping in between communities. All right? No more griping in between communities. Please and thank you. Do you think we are in a bear market? Do you think we are in a bear market and only trying to hope the maximum? If we're in a bear market, we're already done. You know what I mean? Like, this is textbook bottoming structure. I think there's a realistic possibility that Bitcoin no longer behaves like the 4-year cycle and it starts behaving like stocks, in that you have a 1-to-5 or 1-to-7 ratio. I think that's a realistic possibility. But people are talking out of both sides of their mouth, and it's exhausting, really. And what I mean by that is they say, 4-year cycle over, see you in 4 years. We're not going to have any gains for the next 4 years. Which is it? That's not real. What were the thoughts on XEN? I missed it. I think it's a good spot buy. I do have a limit long. I think it's a little bit of a dangerous long. Have you checked ON mantra? Are you talking about OM? MF? Is that what you're talking about? OM? In my opinion, that was the sacrificial lamb, just like FTX was the sacrificial lamb. So, like, FTX was the spring of Wyckoff of accumulation. Mark down, this is accumulation. Your selling climax, the selling climax secondary test, the spring goes lower than all of that. FTX was the spring. The sacrificial lamb. FTX going to zero. Okay, well, like, what just happened? And this is what I'm saying. Like, I really think that we are past the worst of it. Like, the timing of this is crazy to me. The timing of this is insane, as Bitcoin has already, in my opinion, put in its spring, which is basically the same move as FTX. So you could call this Luna going to zero, FTX going to zero. If you view it that way, the timing of Omni going to zero, or OM, I'm calling it Omni, is insane. No. That does not mean that. And stocks are not like that either. Individual stocks are not like that. I said behave like stocks as in the cycle, not the percentage return. I still think that Bitcoin is going to vastly outperform the stock market, but it's not going to be a 10x for Bitcoin. It's not going to be a 20x for Bitcoin. But what I think is realistic is having 5 years of a bull and 1 year of a bear, or 6 months of a bear and 5 years of a bull, or whatever the case is. Ultimately, I don't care about time. I'm looking at structure, and this structure right here is a bottoming structure. That's what I have certainty of, that this is a bottoming structure. I missed the beginning. How we feeling, Neo? I'm feeling great. 10 out of 10. Play the it's going to zero.
Oh, it went to zero. Yo!
Says, bro, OM crypto was in a bull run from past few years and all of a sudden it went crashed. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's the same thing that happened on the spring for Bitcoin. So the same thing that happened, the spring for Bitcoin, there was a coin that's been around for a long time, goes to zero. FTX. This is the same structural moment. Let me overlay it like this. Here you go. We are deep in this. As in, the worst is done. We're like right here. We might get our test. This is the test right here. When Silicon Valley Bank went to zero, that was your textbook Wyckoff test after your spring. So you didn't go lower than the spring. You went to the secondary test in phase B. See how this is the same price? That's what I think is next. Can you explain what on-chain means? On-chain means you'll be able to buy Solnic with a credit card, debit card, any Apple Pay, Google Pay, anything like that. It'll be super easy to buy Solnic. You won't have to buy Solana, swap it, send it off to here, send it off to there. You can just buy it how you normally buy anything. And OM market cap was comparable to FTX. Yeah, like, listen, guys, I don't know about Bitcoin dominance or the stock market. Okay? I have less of a read. I have a strong read on Bitcoin dominance. I have a strong conviction that this is working on the UTAD, but I don't know how high or how much left it needs to do. Does it need to go above this wick all the way? Do we need to go to 65.2? We'll see. And the Dow Jones, like, I have less of a read. Are we going to roll over and make one more wick lower? It's very plausible, but could we V-bottom out of here? That's just as plausible if, like, tariffs just come to an end. I have less of a read on that than Bitcoin being at a bottoming structure. I have, like, clarity and certainty on this. I have clarity and certainty that gold is at a parabolic 2.618 level. When on-chain. I will get some more information on that, but they said the end of April, the last that I heard. Do you have any targets OM previously? No, I don't. I've never even talked about OM, and or if I have, it was very little. I don't, like, this was not on my radar. Even though this was like a top 100 coin, very few people asked me about this. So I don't remember. I would have said that this is parabolic, though. Like, just looking at this. This is beyond parabolic. This never had a correction. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would have said to take profit. This is well beyond parabolic. Like, this really was your parabolic level. This is an overextension. So this is what happens when you break the rules. So this realistically was your parabolic. Like, where I would have, if I would have been in this, which I was not, this was not on my radar, I would have exited fully here. I would have missed all of this. Because I like to exit around the 3618. Okay, so this is textbook. Like, accumulation, your sign of strength, your back test, your markup. You know, that would have been enough for me. And I would have been okay missing. I know it's easy to say this in hindsight, whatever, but I would have been okay missing another 1.5x. Personally. Everyone wants a straight line up until you actually get it. This is the result. I'm right there with you. Like, I saw it a couple times on Crypto Bubbles. I genuinely don't remember anyone asking me about it. So it was not really on my radar like that. Like, I've seen it. I don't know of anyone in my chat that anyone, or in the Telegram, no one that I'm aware of had this coin. I saw people trading this coin, but I'm not aware of anyone that was holding this coin. And I could be wrong about that, but this was not on my radar. No one could have seen that within hours. Yeah, no, that's not a realistic thing, too. Like, I want to be clear about that. I would not have predicted that. I would have thought we would have gotten a grueling, you know, like that. That would be more of a textbook. But that's very crazy. That's very violent. That's not normal, to be clear, right? To just, I have to walk a tightrope with you guys, you know. Sometimes my brain moves faster than my mouth. And sometimes I say things and then I have to explain it. So while, yes, this is a rip the Band-Aid off very quickly, very violently, it was overextended and you could have expected this. You would not have expected this in 1 hour. That is crazy. I would have expected this in like 4 months. You know. All right, let's look at G. What is that? That's a Dex Tools. I think I can actually look at Dex Tools now. Was it top? It was a top G. Is it? Which one is it? Or is this? What coin is G? Is it this one, Gravity? Or are we talking about Andrew Tate's dog? All right. So, what do we got here? Market cap's 117, FDV is 155, so a decent bit of inflation left. Let's see if we can find a chart for this. Yeah, this is, I mean, it just kind of looks like you bought the launch. It happens. I definitely did that. Let me see if I can find a better chart. Yeah. I don't know what your conviction on is. This has not technically broken the downtrend, but if Bitcoin's spring is in, there's a strong inclination that that could be it too. We'll see. Retracement would be 3.2 cents. I would definitely de-risk here. That's a 1.5x. Parabolic is a 5x. I'm thinking of going long on Omni. I tried to take a stab at it, and I got liquidated almost immediately. I'm going to stop doing those silly trades. I do way better when I do fundamental coins like VeChain, ADA. I always, like, do the worst when I'm doing, like, dumb coins like Fartcoin or just trying to do a quick play. Like, I need to stop doing that. But I do way better when I'm trading Bitcoin, when I'm trading VeChain, when I'm trading, you know, the blue chips. But I think because they haven't done, listen, okay, let me play devil's advocate. Let me advocate for the devil for a second. It's a weird thing that we say. We don't need you to advocate for the devil, all right? That I'm aware of, there hasn't been a lot of inflation like the case of Luna or FTX, right? So when FTX went to 0 and Luna went to 0, there was a lot of inflation, right? So what is a plausible, very plausible move would be a dead cat bounce to $3, maybe in $5. Even if it's dead, like, that would be a plausible move. So I tried to catch a little bit of that 2 days ago, and I got stopped out. But I don't think that that's a bad move. Even just the 236 is a 2.5x. That's a risky move, but it would be an expected move. I even did 3x, and I got stopped out. So I got bored with markets and was not checking Solnic, but Solnic is rocking, knock on wood. Yeah, Solnic's been doing great. Like, I don't check my Solnic bag. Like, I just know what I'm going to be doing for the next 10 years. So, like, we're good. So that's a good place to be in. Same thing with, like, Bitcoin. I check Bitcoin because Bitcoin tells the market. But as far as, like, what's the dollar amount of the Bitcoin that I hold, like, I don't care. Hey, Ski, what's up, T-Money? You know what I'm saying? Like, I could care less about that. Thoughts on Algorand? I think Algorand I would put in the same exact category as HBAR. Fundamental coin, past inflation, most of it's done. I think it's going to perform well the longer we go. But not necessarily, you know, the next 6 months or anything like that. I'm not predicting a big move out of Algorand in the short term, but I would feel comfortable holding Algorand for 10 years. Just the same as HBAR. I view it very similar, to HBAR in that regard. All right, so this might be the sweet spot. I think we might do this from now on. We'll start the show regular live. I'll do the analysis for the market, maybe talk a little bit, answers a little bit of questions, and then very quickly, it seems like about 50 minutes in, 45 to 50 minutes in is when we start getting, like, dumb stuff happening. So I think what's going to happen, I'm going to do like 20 to 30 minutes normal, and then just switch to subscriber only. And I think that would be the way to go. And really, I'm not trying to do that. I'm really not. But you guys see it every time we go live. Like, every time. There's issues. So, I'm trying to find a workaround to get the most amount of, you know, exposure that I can help the most amount of people that I possibly can with also, you know, not putting my account at risk. So we'll try that for a couple of days, and if it doesn't work, then we'll just go back to subscriber only. But so far, knock on wood, it seems like it's doing just fine. And so that's what we'll do. Ski, what's up, fam? What's up, bro? Hoppy meme coin chart. We will be live directly after this live stream at 8:30. So 30 minutes from now, I'm going to be on Twitter, X. I'll be on X with the Sonic account. There's a little bit of miscommunication. It's normally going to be at 5 o'clock on Wednesdays, but today it's going to be 8:30. Yeah, I don't love this chart, bro. This is like a launch and then just that's it. It didn't even have a dead cat bounce. Gotta be honest. Says you do get good exposure here. Yeah. So whatever. I'm always trying to make it better. I'm always trying to see what is the workaround. I don't want to just be like, oh, forget it. I quit. I give up. But knock on wood, this seems like what's the topic of the space? I don't know. We're just we're gonna start doing this. We're gonna organically see where it's gonna go. We'll probably eventually have people on, but yeah, it should be every Wednesday. It's gonna be once a week. But we'll talk about Solnic updates. We'll talk about the market, and then just wherever the conversation goes. But no, it's not like we have an agenda or something like that necessarily. ZRO. What's up, Crocs? So this, knock on wood, it seems like that works, and so that's what we'll do from now on till it doesn't. It looks like a higher low is being put in. Let's see if this low can hold, which I think it will, because I think it's the same move, the spring for Bitcoin. It's below the 236. The retracement would take you to 510. That'd be a good thing. And then parabolic would be 17. Great live tonight and the signals in Telegram. What's a good price to enter on Solnic? It depends on your time frame, but realistically, I think it's a good price. If you can get it below 5 million, it's extreme. But, it'll be like at these boring prices until it's not. And it seems like, that's quickly where things are going with Solnic. And, like, anyone that's been a part of this long enough knows, like, this is how it happens. You got your grueling down, and then you start making higher lows. And, I think this is a smart community. The second it flips, like what we see a lot of times is it flips really quickly. So it's below, I think it's really good value. We're trading on top of a lot of support here, the prior all-time highs plus all of this. And we're having a nice bounce from the Bitcoin spring as well. How does Solana look? Are we done to retest 78K? I think it's very plausible that we do. You could call it 80K. If we're going to do it, it's going to be within this week. I have my limit orders in. I'm not like married to it, because you could say on the 5 hour that we already did it, but I think that it's very plausible that we do. Solana, I don't mind Solana at all. It's if you look at Solana on the price, you might be a little bit discouraged. You might be like, oh my God, we just lost all this support. But this is why it's important to measure market cap. But on the market cap, it's having a very good bounce off of this bottom right here. So I would like to see higher lows come out. But I like that it made a good bounce off of the bottom of this support right here. So that's a good sign. But ultimately, you're just trading in this parallel channel right now. You think Fed's quantitative easing is a catalyst for crypto bull run? I don't know. What I know is this is a bottoming structure, and I could try to predict the narrative. That could be a narrative. Quantitative easing, sure. It could be Trump dividend checks from government cuts. It could be a number of things. It could be the tariffs. Actually, you know, all the countries come to the table and it's a real actual positive. We thought it was going to be bad. And you know what? This country, supposedly 70 countries are at the negotiation tables and they're going to lower tariffs. Who knows? I don't know what the narrative is, but what I know is this is a bottoming structure. And I know that these narratives have a way of just showing up miraculously. Do you normally chart using market cap? If the option is available, yes, I will exclusively do that, John, but it's not always available, so I will cross-reference. But, you know, if you go on TradingView, not every chart has a market cap that you can chart it with. But, like, if I do XRP, for instance, it does have a market cap, and that's what I like to look at. Solana has a... You know, like this went below all of this, and you might be discouraged by that. But if you look at the market cap, it does. ADA does. You know, Bitcoin even does. Isn't all the news that there will be no QE for now and no change in interest rates? I'm pretty sure. I'm not a fundamental analyzer of the market, though. You're asking the wrong person. Thoughts on buying 40K of Bitcoin if we hit to 78K? Take a 38K loan to buy more Bitcoin around 78K to sell at 120, then 130, then buy back in the bear. Listen, that's the Robert Kiyosaki way, and I think everyone is different. You know, I want to sit down with you with your financials. I'm not a financial advisor. I can't technically give you financial advice, but you know, what is the interest rate? Like, is it a, you know, buy here, pay here loan? Like, is it a credit card loan? I think that there's lots of variables that is different. But I do think I have limit longs at 78K, and I think that's going to be a good buy. So. I think that is a good buy. But all right, guys, I'm going to take a little break. I'll be back on X with the Solnick account in about 25 minutes. So I'm going to grab a bite to eat, take a little break, and then that's going to be kind of chill and relaxed. Like, I'll probably just be outside smoking a cigar, and we'll just be chatting about whatever. And if you guys want to hop on the space and you know, give your 2 cents and request to speak, like, sure. You guys can definitely do that. So that's going to be more chill, and that's going to be once a week. We're going to do that. That's going to be on X. So make sure you follow me over there. Make sure you guys follow me on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. I will never message any of you guys first. I would say that this is a success on TikTok, so we'll probably do this moving forward. Tyler, at the buzzer, thanks for becoming a member, bro.
But the cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
So we're going to start off the live stream with 15 to 30 minutes of, you know, going over everything, answering a few questions, and then we're going to switch to subscriber only. And that is going to be good. Can I have pin link 10 TA? I'll give you general TA on pin link, but I think it's bottomed at this point. I know you don't like it. I didn't like it in November. I think it's bottom now. I don't mind the chart at all now. But I'll go over that in 30 minutes on X. I'll be on X. So, and I'll be live tomorrow. Here's the schedule for the rest of the week. So tomorrow I will be live 5 to 7 p.m. Central Time, 9 to 10:30 a.m. Central Time with Alex, 3 to 4 p.m. on X with Mario Nafal, and then Saturday 4 to 5:30 p.m. and then Sunday, Resurrection Sunday, I will be off. Don't worry, Tyler, I'll go over tomorrow. All right, guys, that's gonna be it for this time. Peace, love, prosperity. God first. God bless. Danny Boy, thanks for becoming a member.
But the cream will rise to the
Damn,
top.
hustling,
Oh, yeah.
hustling, hustling, hustling,
It's your
hustling,
boy